This is a conclusion question, and we have to find a conclusion that could be most properly inferred from the argument. There is no conclusion in the argument, and the missing link is not required, and our broad expectation from the correct answer choice is that it should be duly deducible from the information in the passage without any assumption or extrapolation. Answer choice A. This answer choice says that the parolees who provide a detailed account of their activities are just as likely to repeat their offenses as other parolees. However, the argument mentions that laws that require parolees to provide a detailed account of their monthly activities can reduce the number of repeat offenders. So it is incorrect to state that these parolees would be just as likely to repeat their offenses as other parolees. In other words, this answer choice directly contradicts the passage. Also, the argument mentions that the law will be more effective in states that are less populated than the state of Lino. However, the argument does not suggest that the law will not be effective in the state of Lino. So again, it cannot be inferred that the parolees who are asked to provide the accounts of their monthly activities will be just as likely to repeat their offenses as other parolees. So this answer choice cannot be concluded from the passage. Let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice B. The argument mentions that laws that require parolees to provide a detailed account of their monthly activities can help reduce the number of repeat offenders. So in other words, the argument mentions that the information about the accounts of parolees' monthly activities can help in controlling the number of repeat offenders. However, the argument does not suggest that the lack of information about these activities is the most important factor in the rise of the number of repeat offenders. Please note that the term most important is extreme in nature and cannot be inferred from the passage. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice C. The argument mentions that the proportion of repeat offenders among all offenses is higher in states with lower population. So the only information we have is about the proportion of repeat offenses and not about any absolute number of repeat offenses. So this answer choice, which talks about an absolute comparison which is indicated by the word fewer, this answer choice cannot be inferred. Please note that the GMAT often tests the concepts of confusing proportion and absolute numbers, and you need to be aware of such classic errors. Let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice D. The argument mentions that the proportion of repeat offenses among all offenses is higher in lower population states than in higher population states. So the only information we have is about the proportion of repeat offenders, and no suggestion can be obtained about the absolute number of repeat offenders. So this answer choice, which compares the number of parolees, which is the absolute number, cannot be inferred. Again, this answer choice tests the classic GMAT error of confusing proportion with absolute numbers. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice E. The argument mentions that the law that requires parolees to provide details of their accounts reduces the number of repeat offenses. The argument also mentions that in lower population states, there is a higher proportion of repeat offenders. So it can be inferred that in lower population states, the law is likely to be more impactful because of the higher proportion of repeat offenses. In other words, in comparison to a high population state such as Lino, the lower population states are going to have more effect of the law. In other words, the laws would probably do less to prevent parolees from repeating their offenses. That means the law would be probably less successful in Lino than such laws would be in other states. So this answer choice can be inferred. E is the correct answer choice.